today. And I have been given only very limited time, so let's go on with it. What's FIspace? Well, of course, it's an EU project, and let's skip that one. FIspace is basically, let's say, a Facebook and LinkedIn-like platform which will allow you to provide easy and affordable ICT support for business collaboration processes. So the governing thing is business collaboration. And so it entails information provisioning for those business collaboration processes. It takes care of finding, connecting and using a wealth of data sources, including IoT, services, legacy systems, basically business to business. It also helps finding, connecting to and getting data from government, so it's B2G and G2B, and the latter one has to be emphasized, because quite often the government takes a lot of data but doesn't provide anything back. In this case, we assume to get something back. It is a platform for app developers and service developers. And if we succeed, and we intend to succeed, then it's going to have a huge impact. If you look at this picture, then basically this is a bit of a dashboard, and we have compiled, our people have compiled it in order to show you a little bit as to what it is all involved. It has to do with status, it has to do with demand, it has to do with offerings, planning, all kinds of business ideas and business services that we need. If you go on, etc., then basically it all boils down to the same thing. FIspace will have to facilitate a seamless cross-organizational collaboration in supply chain networks. It will have to ensure unprecedented transparency, visibility and control of processes with integrity. And it will have to ensure rapid and easy and low-cost development and deployment. Because that's the key in our sector. If you look at the agri-food and logistics and supply chain network sector, it's dominated by small and medium enterprises. It is huge as an economic impact, but it is dominated by small and medium enterprises. Look at the figures on this picture. If we can't provide it at a low cost, if we can't provide it in very dynamic situations, then we will not succeed. So agility of the formation of business networks and ecosystems is of the utmost importance. That all sounds a little bit abstract, but let me show you this particular example in smart farming, because if you look at the farmer of the future, and the farmer of the future is not far away, because we have such forward-looking and modern type of farmers. Modern type of farmers that incorporate into their way of business. They look into, they use services by the government, services by services agencies, etc. They look at the weather forecast, and they want to be able to implement and use that information in their planning and in the execution of their tasks. And FIspace is the environment that is to help them achieve that. And you see, well, on this picture, basically, that's the infrastructure where FIspace is in the middle, where all those services and all those apps are being connected to each other, and they have to provide for the means to be effective farmers and to be sustainable farmers. If you look at it from a technological point of view, then it's basically what we are bringing together is, let's say, an app level. And we are bringing together a workflow or business collaboration model level. A business collaboration model is the driving force behind FIspace, because in that mechanism we are trying to bring together, and we are solving the configuration problem of connecting and combining all those apps and those services into a workable information provisioning system for the farmer of the future, or the logistics service provider of the future. You can, I'll close it, you can call it an extensible SaaS, and of course it's based on the whole thing of FIware, all the services provided by FIware. That is what it is based on, and it provides for the technological framework that we need in order to make it happen. This is the platform, and I'll stop with that. We are currently working on something like 8 trial pilot systems. One of them will be working next week. Thank you.